Hello guys, this is ShadowFox here. I'm going to do a quick video today. I'm going to show off the entire set of this Silk Screamer, the new Void Challenge boss, and I'm also going to give you some quick tips how to beat it, whether you're a warrior or mage or whatever class you are. Okay, so here we go. Now firstly, one of the most important things I want to point out, this monster is undead. You might not be able to tell it. So you're going to see me use Paladin as one of my main armors, and that's because versus Undead, there's an element seeking effect. So when a monster attacks you, it treats you as if you had taken light damage. It takes whatever element you deal and it modifies it by what your light resistance is, and it reduces the damage you take quite significantly, and that's versus undead enemies. So as you see, I'm running just a really wacky build, but this is a 0 dexterity build. You'd have a lot easier time if you had some dexterity. As you'll see, I have a hard time hitting, but this is what I run on my character. So what I'm going to do here initially is I'm just going to get to these Star Slayer robes, and I'm going to just try to whack out some of his HP so he'll progress to the next part of the fight here. You can also use defensive mists. I'm just going to use something that helps me land hits, but you can definitely use defensive things like Head of Radius Dragon or another darkness mist that lowers your darkness resistances, but I really don't need to do that. So as you see here, I'll just do some damage. This is a choke skill, so it reduces the damage I take, which will be helpful in a moment, as you'll see. I'm just going to get his HP down a little bit more. Okay, yeah, and I got a good choke on him. Okay, so he has started applying a status to me I want to point out. It's called the Haunting. The longer you stay in one armor, it makes you deal less damage, so you need to switch the armor. So what I recommend is having 2 in your inventory. I have Paladin and Star Slayer, so I'm going to switch over to Paladin. Now, you just need 1 darkness element armor and shield and Paladin, or 2 darkness element shields armors and 1 shield. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and start hitting him with my just my regular Paladin skills. The usual. Make sure you've got your, if you're in Paladin, make sure you got all your skills that you want toggled. So I'm gonna go in, hit him with that big burning dragon. Now what you'll see, one of his main effects that he does when he gets about this much HP, what he does is he forms this elemental shield, cacophony, around himself. Now there's a few ways you can break this. If you at least have some MP mana, you can use Generalist Robes. There's a skill here. You could use Elemental Explosions right here, this skill, and that will hit him for all elements. Now it doesn't matter how much damage you deal, you just have to deal at least 1 damage of each element in order to break this shield here so that you can start attacking him again. So you could use this elemental explosion. There's also this spell that you can get in another Void Challenge, Eye of Chaos. This hits for all 8 elements. You can also, if you have this pet, the Mana Golem, you can toggle him, and he will hit for all all 8 elements, which is what I'm going to do. But if you're a warrior and you don't use spells, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have just your regular weapons, different elemental pets, and maybe a guest, and you're just going to have to swap elements for a few different turns because you can't get it all out one way. So I'm going to go back to the paladin armor, try to finish him off. See in just a moment. I bet he'll attack with all the 8 elements here. And nearly breaking all of his resistances. He didn't quite get it. I'll just finish that up myself. Alright, see, and it took away that status, so now he is taking damage again. Okay, so the haunting hasn't come back yet, but he has inflicted me with entangled, which makes attacks harder to hit. So I'm gonna put back on my mask that boosts my different resistances. I'm going to go in with more paladin skills because that's what I like using. In the last stage of the fight, he starts switching to dealing damage, completely removing your mana and your SP. So now you just have to swap over, and just basically what you can do is you can just sit in this armor and just basically wait it out, do little bits of damage over time, which is what I'm going to be doing. Let me summon a guest real quick. Yeah, basically just attack him. You also can just use these ally assists. I don't really want to risk losing here. Also, you can just sit in defensive armors and use those ally assists. Since he's undead, 5 of them will take him out easy, no sweat. So what you'll be rewarded with is, and most of these items are token, unfortunately. So you get a staff here. Now this weapon, if you click on it, it will mind lock your enemy, which will mean they can't use any mana for a round. So it's not super useful, but it's cool, and I guess you could get it if you like the art and you have the tokens. The armor has a Moglin that you're riding a spider, the spider monster on, and this is a regular darkness armor with a skill that's a darkness skill, and it will deal more damage if you have candy. And I believe it might have candy from Lockweed, and it might have other effects, I'm not sure, but that's its main deal. You got a spell. Now this is actually gold to summon the Silk Screamer Ghast. And I'll show a gif of all this in just a little bit. There's a hat. It's a copy of the Ghast. And of course there's a painting, so you can fight the monster anytime you want. There's a guard, and this item will be leaving these items, and this weapon will go rare after 1 week. So I hope I gave you some tips about monster. Maybe that makes it a little bit easier. There's some misconceptions, and I hope this helped you out, and I will be back in my next video. See you guys around.